Good morning, my name is Carrie.
I'm Jeannine.
And we are the Idea Ladies here at the Passionate Home in Downtown Langley. Welcome to our Friday Live episode. It looks like Christmas outside here. They are filming a Hallmark movie, but we're not there yet. So today we are going to talk about everything wax. So
Not my body.
What? My legs are so smooth. I said to my husband, so we're going to talk everything wax. He's like, I'm like, Annie Sloan wax. Yeah. So if you were there, please say good morning. Candace is here behind the camera.
Good morning.
And yeah.
We have Chatty Maman. We have Twisted Sisters, Shutter's Journey.
Wonderful.
There's lots of people on this
Good
morning.
morning. We should thank everybody for watching and sharing your comments about last week's episode, our little thrift store competition. That was super fun. Sorry. Okay, it started out as a challenge, became a competition.
You both won.
And we're both winners. That's how it ended up, right? That's how we figured it out.
They looked great together.
That's right.
They did.
So today, I think you may need to grab a pen and paper because we really want to share lots of information for you on Annie Sloan Wax. And if you have any questions, please type it in. Whether you're watching live, Candace will read it, or later we will go back and read them, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to bombard you for the next 20 minutes with all things Annie Sloan Wax. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay.
Let me grab this.
Yes.
First of all, there is 4 waxes. So this is all on the same color. So this is original chalk paint. So these strips are the raw paint.
It's going to come in a little closer.
This is the clear wax. This is clear and dark wax. So you want to do clear first. This is white wax. And then this is clear and then black wax. So you can just see the different colors on there.
So you can see how the different wax colors really make a difference to the same color of paint.
Right.
So normally you would chalk paint and then you would wax and that would seal it. But one of the things we're going to concentrate on today is using all of the waxes on raw wood, because we get a lot of questions, can you wax raw wood? And we're like, ooh, yeah, you can. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to turn this ugly barn board. Okay, this isn't ugly. If you're
It's
like
actually
us, you
beautiful.
love this.
Yeah.
Stop the car!
We're sealing it, right?
And then we're going to show you how to get all these different looks by sanding and then using the different waxes.
Right.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
So again, if you have any questions, just type it in. So we have open here all of Annie's waxes. So let's just start with the clear one. It also comes in different sizes. So for those of you those big users out there, doesn't sound right. It comes in the 1 liter, and this is your clear wax. Often people say, what does it look like? Looks like margarine,
Right, it's like a margarine
sort of
consistency.
Right, that is your
Lard. A
clear.
can of lard.
Right?
Yeah. It also comes in this little guy. This is the dark wax,
Which is brown.
which is brown.
Yeah.
This will cover approximately 18 square feet, right? Oh no,
No.
16? Wait.
90 square feet, that
What?
one.
Goes a long way.
Yeah, it'll cover about 4 to 5
Are
small
you
cans
sure?
of paint. Yeah, positive.
Wait, where are my glasses? Okay, I'm gonna get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, oh yeah, they do it in some weird, different language. Anyway,
okay, this is $18. Is that right?
20.
22.
God.
Carrie doesn't work the floor as much as And then this size.
Oh, dear.
So these ones are $35.95. This is your best value for sure.
Yeah.
This is what most people are buying their clear wax in, and then depending on your project, like if you're going to do a whole tabletop, I would still get this size in dark or black if you're wanting that look. But when I'm using it over top of chalk paint, you really don't need very much, so I get this size.
And this is $22.
22.
Right. You know what I was
36.
thinking of? I want to just defend myself because I do own the place. I should know something. I was talking about the paint.
They're
Well,
16.
they're 16, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and show the white. I'll show.
So this is the white chalk paint wax. And
Oh, clear.
Oh, so,
Hang
okay,
on,
yeah,
we gotta-
white, you know, me and the white, I always make the glare happen.
There we go.
I
I
this
wanna
one's
show
a little
these
bit
beside
frothier.
each other, right?
Yeah,
So
okay,
you
so
can see
you
the-
can see the difference here, because everybody's like, this looks white to me, but honestly, when it goes on, it's very
This
clear.
looks more opaque,
Yeah,
and this is white.
right. And I love using the white wax. I don't know, for whatever reason, it's very soft and easy to use.
I first tried the white and the black wax in Oxford at Annie's shop. And they have a little, they call it like a paint bar set up. and I gave it a go, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this seems to spread
It does.
differently.
It does.
Softer than the clear wax.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, they're all really great, and they're all options for raw wood or to top onto Nestled chalk paint. Right, everyone with us so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, excellent. So not only do they come in different sizes and different colors, how do you apply it?
Well, you can use a waxing brush. There's lots of different sizes, right? So depending on your project and what you're doing, these are the Annie Sloan wax brushes. And you can also use lint-free rags or blue shop towels, right? So it's easiest, I believe, with a waxing brush. It just holds the wax exactly where you need it.
Yes.
You're not losing all your extra wax in your rag, right? Like you're using about 30% extra wax in here.
Yeah.
Keep it where you want it and use the wax brush. The blue shop towels are easy and nice just to throw it out there.
What I love, I recently did 6 chairs. And I found with all the little crevices and everything, the brush gets in all those little areas better than your finger does with the rag. It made it more enjoyable. It went on more evenly. And like Jeannine said, we saved money and wax by using the brush. So I went, while I was doing the chairs at home, I'm like, I need everyone to own a wax brush.
For sure. Yeah.
Now, we do have Annie Sloan's wax brushes, and we have a Canadian-made alternative, which is a little less expensive. But Candace, you were just saying,
I love
like a
Annie's
Cadillac.
brush.
I
It really
know.
is.
Yeah.
It just flows so much better. Yeah.
These are both natural boar bristles though, so they're
Correct.
a natural bristle, which is really nice.
so we're demoing today with these little mini ones. This is not what you want to purchase to do a whole dresser or dining room chair. You'll hate us.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. It's really great for small projects or adding dark or black wax into the little crevices.
Details.
Right?
Detail.
Yeah.
Do not buy this for a big dining room suite.
Yeah.
The
Not
other
gonna save
thing I
money.
wanted to point out was, this is what can happen to your brush. Yes,
You use it quite a bit. So.
it's naturally going to do this.
Yeah.
And it will need to be replaced eventually, but you don't want to toss this one because it'll have other uses later.
For sure.
Okay? Let's talk about, while we're on brushes, how do you clean a wax brush? A huge question.
Right?
Yeah.
So they do kind of build up. I don't wash mine every time, so I'm gonna just wipe out my excess in my cloth, right? And then store it. That's fine.
Do you store it in a plastic
Yeah,
bag?
you can, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the best. I don't at home, which I
don't
probably
either.
should.
Yeah.
Once you dip it back into your wax, it kind of reactivates the bristles and softens what's in there, and it's good to go again. Once it's getting too much buildup, use some warm water and some like Blue Dawn dish soap is a really good degreaser.
Yeah.
And then
Or
work it out. Yeah. Or the odorless mineral spirits. That really gets everything out.
again,
Yeah.
this is like an expensive hair conditioner. You use
Right.
it and your brush is like brand new.
Yeah, it
Totally.
totally emulsifies all of it out. It's fabulous.
Yeah, it's
but
really
not
good.
necessary to clean it in between each use. Sorry, Candace.
Can I give a hint?
Yeah.
When you're cleaning your brush,
Yeah.
you're going to get it wet. You're going to get your soap or whatever you're going to do,
Yeah.
and mush it in there, and then use some paper towel to remove some of that
Oh,
excess
oh,
wax,
yeah.
so it's not going down your drain.
And
That's
the
a good
hot
idea.
water, not cold water. The
Yeah.
hot
Yeah.
water melted.
And I just work it in my hand. And
Yeah,
wash it.
exactly.
And then you want to set it like this to dry, not like this. You don't want the water to sit and rust your ferrule, okay? You look after your brush will look after you. And they told you, friends? Okay, so what about application? Let's talk about raw wood.
Right.
Okay.
So you don't want to have anything on here like a varnish or whatever. So if you did, you want to remove that. So sand it off.
Yes, so if you're using a dining room table, actually Candace, I know this, didn't plan this, but let's just show the shiny like this.
Okay.
Can you do this? See how shiny this is? And it has a thing on it, a clear coat.
Yeah.
The wax will not absorb into that. Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
show
wax
this, right?
This
So this
is how
has
it's
been
sanded
sanded
off,
off.
and we will wax this later.
Yeah.
So when you have beautiful barn wood and you just want to kind of preserve it, you could just use clear wax, right? And that'll
Okay.
just kind of seal it and give it a nice wipeable finish.
So I'm going to demo how much to put on here, but I want to give another little tip about using clear wax. You don't necessarily want to put your brush into your bucket or pail of wax, because what happens is if you use Oxford Navy, for instance, to paint your piece and you've sanded it, you're naturally going to get sanding dust on your brush, and you don't want to be putting that blue back into your clear wax because your next project is going to be white. So we like to scoop out. Go.
I got one for
Let's
you.
just scoop out a little bit of what you're going to use onto a dish. And then that way, if you've contaminated your clear wax for your blue project, it's not contaminating does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah, okay. So what I like to do is just, like Jeannine had said, if you just, sometimes the bristles are a little bit stiff. If you just kind of reactivate it, it'll soften up. I also find temperature really affects wax. If it's too cold, do not store this in your garage. It's too cold, and then the wax is too hard to spread. For those of you who've used it before, you probably know this. And of course, you don't want to keep it in your hot car because it becomes liquid.
Right.
So at room temperature, it's a nice spreadable consistency. Makes sense? Yeah.
Oh, we have so many people joined. It's not running up like it usually does, so I am manually doing it. So good morning to all of you who are on here.
Yay.
If you have questions and I miss it, then definitely type them in later because for whatever reason it wasn't scrolling. Okay, so how is this wax better than using a regular stain?
So much easier.
Yeah.
Oh, like if you wanted to stain raw wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is completely food safe.
Yeah.
It's, clean.
It's not smelly.
Right?
It's easy cleanup. So many things.
It's a very natural finish too. I mean, but you can experiment with lots of different products if you like the look of the stain, but the wax is so much easier and it
really
dries so much faster.
It's like done instantly.
Instantly,
You're not waiting 24 hours or anything like that.
So I'm just going to put a little bit of clear wax on this piece of, you can't even tell.
So it's just kind of intensifying it a little bit.
Yeah. Can you see the difference
wee bit.
between this and this?
Yeah.
So when you're waxing, you want to wax with the grain of the wood, okay? Back and forth with the grain of the wood. And like the movie, you want to wipe it on and wipe it off.
Oh, we got
Wax
some
on,
there.
wax on.
Wax on. Whoops. What is that? Karate Kid. Wax on, wax on. And it should feel fairly dry before you go to the next one. So what you do not want to do is wax your whole project and then go back and think you can do the wiping off.
No.
Right? So you want to do it as you go, about section by section, right?
Yeah, so and Lori says too, it brings out the grain visually. Yes,
It does.
beautifully.
Thank you, Lori. Yeah. So that is just clear wax on here. That's if you want to keep the natural color of your wood. Now, Jeannine, what if you wanted it to go brown?
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to use the dark wax. So I'm going to use a different scoop. So I'm just going to scoop out a little bit of dark wax.
Nothing like a new can of
Right?
it.
I'm like, I don't really want to dig in here, but we do.
So
you can see
we
how
have a
it
question.
happens. Yeah?
Can you directly apply it to a board that has been treated with mineral oil?
Ooh.
Mineral oil.
Yeah.
I would say I would lightly sand it and then do it. And
Give it some tooth.
Give it some tooth to absorb into
Yeah.
because you cannot, not only can you not wax on top of something that has a clear coat, but let's say it's a latex paint. If it's got that clear coat finish to it or the latex, it won't absorb without.
Yeah, it's already
the tooth.
Yeah.
sealed. Yeah.
That
Why do I struggle with those words?
Okay, so I've got a bit of dark wax on here. You're going to see how this is going way darker, right? So I'm going with the grain of the wood. It's kind of sticking into little bits that are raised, like it would if you had made a lot of texture with your chalk paint. So you can see where it kind of goes into the grain. And it highlights any different texture.
It's already
on there.
beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Ooh, I love it. So then I'm going to wipe away. So I'm not wiping it all off, but you can see some comes off. Now, if I really was like, oh my gosh, this is way too dark, you can use clear like a bit of an eraser, right?
Can you though now that you didn't put clear underneath?
Let's try.
Okay.
I think you can.
Well, maybe because it's super fresh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you can it'll just kind of remove what the top layer is, and I think it'll leave it in.
And leave it in. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
See, so it is
beautiful.
coming off.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a helpful hint, especially when you're painting on white and you've put like your clear first and then your dark, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's just brown now. So use clear on a rag and just kind of wipe some away, and that'll give you a nicer finish, I think.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you are painting a piece of furniture that you use chalk paint first, you want to clear wax first all the time before you put the dark wax on top. Can I borrow your dark wax?
Yeah.
So now that I've clear waxed this, I'm going to put dark wax on top. and you're going to notice the difference between mine and Jeannine's finish here. Well, you actually took some of yours off.
I did.
Let's just show.
Here,
It's okay. It's still, you can still see the difference.
Okay.
So I had clear
Definitely.
wax first and then dark wax, and she just did dark wax.
Yeah.
But remember, on chalk paint, you always, 99.9% of the time, you want to clear wax first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else you'll just lose the color.
You're just going to stain your paint brown.
So let's say, what if somebody wants to use white wax? Would you have to clear wax first?
That's the only one I don't think you have to, right? You don't. So let's just dip. Oh, I just dipped right into my can, you guys, which I do at home. So, and then I'd use this to work it into my.
You know what? I'm going to interrupt. Do you see, people, friends? We're using a different wax brush for every color.
Yes.
That's true.
You do not want to cross-contaminate your brush, because as you can see, this one we are using for dark, you do not want to use this in your clear wax later. Because if you're doing a white piece with clear wax and a little bit of dark ends up coming out, you're going to be so disappointed.
Yeah.
So
show this one,
Yeah.
right? Because that's a clean dark
clean,
brush.
Yeah.
You never get it fully clean.
Yeah.
No.
So-
I do cheat, actually, and I use the same brush for dark and black. And the same one for white and clear. But that's because, I know, but I try. I'm always open to how it's going to be interpreted. Like if it comes, but if you're very specific, do not have separate brushes for every color.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Do
that's
have
okay.
separate
Yes, have
brushes
separate
for colors.
Yeah.
So you can see the white wax is quite subtle. So if you're just thinking you're going to do like a white wash on your chalk paint finish, it's not really going to give you that desired effect. So did you know that you could add a little bit of chalk paint into your wax to also make a tinted wax? So if you wanted a bit more of a white in here, you could just add a little bit of white paint. So, because when you wipe this, a lot of it's coming off. It's just sticking in the grain.
Sticking in the grain. Yeah.
So when I'm using white wax, because I use it quite often, I let it sit a little longer than I do my clear. So I'm
Before
gonna
removing it. Yeah.
right before wiping it. So I'm just going to let this sit for a second, and then I'll show you again.
Here it is, actually, on a textured piece painted in, is this French linen?
French
Yeah.
linen.
Yeah. So you can see how the white wax here is just sitting in the texture.
Right.
Can you see that, Candice? Yeah. And then, of course, the black wax and the dark and clear. The colored waxes really highlight texture.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm wiping it again a little bit later, and it's just leaving a little bit more built up on there.
The
It
white
is
is very subtle.
It is
yeah,
very subtle,
for
yeah.
sure. And I often add white paint,
White paint,
to my white wax. So by doing that, you would scoop a little colored paint, wax into your dish, and then put a little paint and really whip it well so that it's even. You can actually mix any of the chalk paint colors with clear wax to make a colored wax. So it's kind of 2 steps in one. You can also mix all the waxes together. Yeah. So if you found the dark wax too dark, you can mix in a little clear and just whip it up, right? Did you know that?
Did you know you could also make a glaze? So if you're finding a little bit difficult to spread evenly, why not mix in a little bit of mineral spirits? So you're going to do it about 50-50. You're going to use your palette knife on a plate and just kind of blend it together until you get like a paddly effect. Yeah, and then that'll glide so
you
much
paint
easier.
it on now. Yeah.
Yeah, and odorless.
Yeah, odorless.
Get odorless because
Yeah,
otherwise
it's
it's
so
smelly.
Yeah.
If you have Annie Sloan's Quick and Easy book, this is like the pink transformation. It's one of the first ones I ever had. On page 28, here she is actually making the glaze.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And I find it does make using dark wax a little easier.
Yes.
It
Right?
should. Yeah.
If you're, again, really finicky and you want a really even finish, then mixing it with the odorless mineral spirits is a good idea. Yeah.
So, and it also helps, I don't know, sometimes when we paint texture, you look at it sideways after you're done and you can kind of see spots you may have missed. So this just helps get everything covered in an even finish.
Okay, talk about missing things. How many coats of wax would you tell people to use on their chalk paint finish?
2 light coats, like thin coats is better than one trying to do thick coat, right?
coat.
You're going to miss spots no matter how hard you try. So do a thin coat and then come back and do another coat.
What are you laughing at, Candace?
Because I don't.
You
I know.
I do one, and then I come back and if there's dry spots, but
There
yeah.
you go. So what happens is if you just goop on the wax, like I'm getting this done in one shot, the chalk paint, once the wax hits the chalk paint, what's needed is absorbed and the rest sits there and waits for you to wipe it away. So if you're gooping it on, you're wasting money, time, effort, right, trying to get that stuff off. So again, in my garage the other day, I was just telling Jeannine, I was waxing these chairs and I just moved a little bit in the natural light and I saw I had missed sections. And I'm like, no, there's no way I missed it. I totally went over it. But if you had done, and I did do 2 light coats, I made sure that I had an even finish.
Right. Time is flying, and I just want to show you
is
quickly
it?
what the black wax looks like,
Yes.
because we haven't even done that yet.
Oh, do you want to use this?
Sure.
Right here.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, of course, I always have the lightest hand of everybody here. So I, when people are doing this at home, they like put it on very thick.
Y'all have seen Lori do her dark wax. Yeah. She
so-
loves her some dark wax.
I haven't went to yet, but it's so pretty.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, black wax is beautiful.
So you can kind of see the difference between the brown and the black. One is definitely brown, one is definitely black.
Yeah.
So there's, oh, cool.
Did you see we're running out of time?
Well, yeah, it's already 9:52. I don't know how that
Oh my
happened.
goodness.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
I want to make sure we've covered the I did my homework, people. We talked about wax on, wax off. Don't forget that, very important. We get a lot of phone calls saying, my finish is really sticky. I don't know how to get it off. You either use too much wax or you forgot the wipe off part. So let's remember that. Yeah. Apply evenly for even drying time. So again, that's where the brush comes in handy.
Yeah.
It's true.
Right? Using a brush
Even
over
pressure.
the web. It is food safe after it's cured, which takes how long?
2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. Depending on temperature. Temperature has
That's
a
true.
lot to do with the curing time.
Yeah.
And also remember, do not store this in your garage. Yeah. 2 thin coats are better than 1 thick one. Buffing. So we did not talk about buffing. So let's say you've now done a beautiful farmhouse table and you've used the black wax. You want to wait about 24 hours to buff it.
Yeah.
And buffing means you're going to use a cotton rag and go back and forth with the grain of the wood. And buffing is not like, how buff am I? It's friction, right? I'm pretty buff, but anyway, it's just friction. And the more you polish it, the shinier it'll get.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Some people have an electric buffer.
Yeah, those car buffers with a really soft pad.
Yeah.
Saves time.
Well, it certainly does if you're doing a big tabletop.
Yeah,
Right?
nice and
Apply with a grain, temperature. Okay, so now you've painted your tabletop. Can you use it right away?
You can.
Or waxed, sorry.
I would wait the 24 hours, obviously, because you're
Yeah.
going to buff it then. And then just be really gentle with it. You can use it. It's not going to be fully cured yet. You want to wait your 2 to 3 weeks.
Yes.
So don't drag things back and forth. Use maybe some table linens just to protect it while you're using
Yeah.
it.
That's even if it's a painted surface with wax
It's
or
true.
just raw wax. If you're dripping your red wine or whatever, wipe it up right away. It has
Yeah.
not cured. You do need to give it a chance.
True.
And the importance of a wax brush, I cannot tell you. I believe
worth
it's
the
super
money.
important.
Totally.
So we're good.
Yeah. That was a lot of wax.
So we hope we gave you a lot of information on wax. Let's give away some wax.
Yes, let's do that.
If you found this video of value and you would like to win a free tin of your choice of color wax, we would love for you to share our video on either your stories or on your page. We will see that you have shared it and we will enter to win and announce the winner for next week.
Yeah.
Sound good?
So wait till after we've uploaded it to Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, that would be
Find
great.
the share button.
What are we going to talk about next week?
Oh yeah. We're gonna
Right here, live, we are going to be dyeing some fabric.
Yeah, did you know you can use chalk paint to dye fabric? So we're going to show you all about it.
Yes.
Some different fun projects.
Yeah, we have some fun projects in mind. So thanks so much for joining us today. We hope that you learned something and that you are inspired to try one of the colors of Annie Sloan Wax. And as always, we're here to answer your questions whenever you need them. So stay safe and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.